Hey, hi there. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can have multiple Xbox 360s with Open NAT type using the QOS engine setting. In this case it's on a D-Link DIR-825 router. It might work with other routers as well. Probably will also work with the Xbox One and also between the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. So if you're having issues with Open NAT types on both of them, you can also try it with this. Now just keep in mind that with the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, different ports need to be opened, and I'll leave a link at the bottom of the page to both the pages listing the ports. However, with the Xbox 360, you actually only need to have 3 of the ports listed on the page as, well, in this case, QoS engine. Sometimes you can try the port forwarding, and that won't work. I mean, it didn't work for me. DMZ didn't work for me, application rules, and virtual server didn't work. So first things first, I need you to go to your router login page and log in. In this case, that's how I get to the page. Okay, so let me just log in. Oh, hi there, okay, I'm back. So as you can see on my network settings page in my router, and we want to make sure that we have this setting right here correct first. So in this case, my default range, IP address range in my router is right here. So 100 to 199. Make sure that's enabled, and then we're gonna want to reserve the IP addresses for our Xbox 360s that we're trying to get Open NAT type with. So in this case, I'll do an example. So say we have 2 Xbox 360s. So I'm gonna want to go ahead here and type in the name. So we'll call this Xbox 360 number 1. For the IP, 360 number 1. For the IP address, I'm going to put 192.168.0.101. So the range is between 100 and 199. I'm going to do 101. So, and then you're going to need the MAC address. That can be found under the network settings option on your Xbox 360. And all you need to do is to go in additional settings, and then you'll be able to find that. So it looks something like that. Okay, and you want to click save, and then you want to also make sure that you do the same thing with your second Xbox 360, and then change the IP address as well and click save. Now the IP addresses that we're reserving, make sure they're not being used by any of the other devices on your network. It'll show the list of devices below normally. Also make sure that the IP addresses that you're using are next to each other. So in this case, 101 for the first one, and the second one was 102. That's very important. So as you can see, I'm on my QoS engine setting page on my router. Port forwarding, virtual server, and application rules won't work for me, as well as DMZ. So I'm not really a computer expert, but I'm just telling you that right now. So if this doesn't work for you, keep in mind this worked for me. Because those other things, they were not working for me. I tried everything. I tried doing the port forwarding, I tried virtual server, I tried the rules, and I tried DMZ. That wasn't working. So I went to QoS engine and I figured it out. So I enabled traffic shaping, automatic uplink speeds enabled, enable QoS engine, so that's enabled. And then automatic classification enabled, and then make sure this dynamic fragmentation, make sure that is disabled. Okay, so scroll down, and then you can look at the 3 rules I have. All each of these apply to both of my Xbox 360s because the range I used for the IP addresses was 101 to 102. These are both the Xbox 360 IP addresses. Okay, everything else you can just copy. So protocol, make sure it's TCP and UDP for each of them. You only need to have 53, 3074, and 1863. You don't need to have 80 or 88 like you might see on the 360 settings page. And then remote IP range, make sure the IP range is exactly as you see it here. Not really too sure what that is, but I did find it, so that's why I'm sharing this with you. So once you're done that, there's a couple more settings you need to change. In my case, I need to go to firewall settings. Once on firewall settings, make sure you have UDP endpoint filtering and TCP endpoint filtering as endpoint independent. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to advanced network. make sure you have universal plug and play enabled. Okay, very important. And then lastly, make sure you have multicast streams enabled. Okay, once you're done everything, make sure you click save. I recommend you try restarting your router if it doesn't do that automatically. And then once you go to your Xbox 360's, go to your network settings and test your Xbox Live connection. Make sure that on the Xbox 360's you have it so that your IP address is automatic and not manual, because we changed it in the DHCP reservation list. I hope this helped you out. Comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos. Yeah, have a nice day. I hope this helps you out. Bye-bye.